Hey guys, welcome back to Grave Reviews. My name is Chris, and today I checked out a movie called Daddy's Head. That's a choice. The movie is written and directed by Benjamin Barfoot. So the movie is about this young boy and his stepmother. Their father has recently died, and now they are left in the wake with this kind of interesting relationship dynamic. But something is happening in the woods, and a creature starts to show up around the house that may or may not resemble the dead father. Sort of does. So we're going to get into a little bit of spoilers eventually here, but up front I'll say this movie looks really, really great. I was really impressed with the cinematography and the camera work and the lighting. I thought the production values were great in this thing. And on top of that, the acting is really good as well. So the young boy, Rupert Turnbull, who plays the character of Isaac, I thought he did a really fantastic job. Some really good subtle acting at times. He really pulled out the performance of a kid struggling to understand his emotions and struggling to come to terms with the grief and the loss of his father. And then on the other hand, you have this woman, Laura, played by Julia Brown, which also has its own interesting character dynamics of somebody who is a stepmother who married into this because she fell in love with this man and never wanted to be a parent, but now is facing the scenario where she's left, the only thing left of the relationship is this kid. And she does feel something for him, but she also has, essentially an escape because all the estate has been left to her and all the money and stuff. So it already paints a really interesting dynamic there between the two and kind of a broken household dealing with this extreme trauma and grief. And that's the underlying theme of this movie, is trauma and grief. It's very, very similar to The Babadook insofar as, ruminations on grief and them manifesting in some sort of supernatural or otherworldly creature or being. The difference here is the kid in The Babadook, while intentional, was incredibly freaking annoying, and the kid in this movie wasn't. But this is a horror movie, so what's scary about it? Well, there is a creature in this movie, and it is interesting. So the creature, and this might be a little bit of a spoiler, about 30 minutes into the film, maybe a little earlier than that, there is a fire that appears in the woods, smoke bellowing up into the sky, and we're not quite sure what it came from. It seems to be maybe some sort of alien creature or something has taken the father's face from his dead body and is now trying to lure the young child out into the woods, which leads to some really, really creepy moments. So yeah, this is a horror movie, and it has some pretty effective scare sequences. A lot of jumpy scares that I wasn't expecting, but there is some interesting visuals. When you see the creature, and it's usually obscured in the darkness, which is great, but there are times where you see it, and it kind of gives me the vibes of that Cats movie with Taylor Swift and Idris Elba and stuff. You remember that? Where their faces were like photoshopped onto these weird cat bodies. It kind of looks like that, where it's like just something effed up with your mind of how you see it, but it is disturbing. And the way the creature speaks and stuff like that and moves, I thought it was really effective and really well done. For the most part, this movie is a bit slower paced, so if you're looking for some like horror-y, jump-scary thing, it has jump scares like I'm saying, but it doesn't feel like a movie that is riding the intensity the whole time. Instead, it's a slow burn, methodical study on grief, and so it's very, very dour and depressing and kind of bleak feeling the majority of the time. When there isn't scary stuff happening, you have, like I'm saying, really heavy emotional moments between either the woman who's, dealing with her grief in her own way. She seems to be like alcoholic and passing out at night trying to overcome this trauma, and then the son who's disconnected and just wants anything he can to reconnect with his father. When this creature shows up wearing his face, even though it's terrifying looking, there's something to it. He sees some part of his father that he just wants to get back. The other interesting part of the movie is the house, and that's where almost the entire movie takes place, in this house that the dad designed and built. And I guess there's some sort of metaphor they're going for with that, where they're both kind of living inside the head of the dad or something. I can't quite place exactly what it would be, but it has to have some sort of meaning. But the house is very brutalistic in design, very harsh, modern corners and stuff like that. It's not a comfortable home feeling ever. And so it does give you a certain sense of just uncomfortableness, I guess, throughout the whole thing. Because if this looked like a really nice home, I feel like it would play a bit different in the way you interpret and feel things during this movie. It's very dramatic, and it doesn't reach melodrama, which is great. I thought all the emotions it's pulling out feel genuine and real, and there is some good scary stuff, but it is a slower movie, and so it's definitely not going to be for everyone. But like if you like the Babadook and these kind of movies that make you feel sad, this might be one to check out. There is some cool creepy visuals as well. So I think I'm going to give this a 7 out of 10. I did enjoy Daddy's Head. That didn't sound right. Weird name for a movie though. Fitting, I guess, but a little questionable. But that's going to do it for Daddy's Head. Guys, if you've seen the movie, let me know what you think of it. Let me know if there's anything I should be checking out. Leave a comment, leave a like, that helps out the channel, and I'll catch you here next time, guys. Goodbye.